Doing good, doing good. I slept in so much today because I was like, oh, it's Sunday. I don't need to wake up at a good time. And I'm like, oh my God, I just slept so long. But, all
I
good.
did. I did the same. I've been up for about 2 hours. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think I've been up for probably about maybe 3 hours, but yeah.
yeah. Uh, uh,
Oh,
uh.
I don't know. I gotta get my sleep schedule. Whatever. Yeah, that's all good. But yeah, how's TFT been?
It's just the sleep schedule of a DGen TFT player. That's all it is.
Yep. Yeah, that's true.
Um, I got into like a little spot where I feel like I was just trying to I don't know. I wasn't thinking anymore. I was just trying to do the same thing. So I kind of
Hmm.
had a little period where I wasn't playing very well. But I played a couple games before we had this session.
Hmm.
And one of the games was, I think it was one of the worst games I've ever played, but I took third. And then the last game I took second. And I think there's some pretty good mistakes that I'd like to get maybe your opinion on, like see what you think about the game overall. Even
Hmm.
though I took second, I think there's a lot of places to and play better.
Okay. Yeah, sounds great.
So here, let me. And I don't ever really play family, so I feel like it's kind of maybe a good game. We'll see.
All right.
Got Nusi?
Yep.
All right.
All right. First augment, prismatic game. You said this one's a family one?
Yeah, I end up playing family in this.
Okay. Yeah, family, it's like, I don't know. Like, it is definitely not the heyday of family like early on in this set where it's like, oh man, I just like hard force it every time I get the units for it. But if you get a good enough spot for it, I'm down to try it out here. And yeah, you pick up the Violet 2 already. And so yeah, I could see it being a family game. But it's also like, I don't know, you still don't necessarily have to play it if you don't end up
No,
using
I'm by
spot for
no
it.
means convinced to play it right now yet.
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
I don't, like I said, I don't play family, so I'm not like, ooh, let's play family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because your spot, you have a rod already. You have this Renata in shop. I've been playing more Renata reroll recently. I feel like this comp is actually like so good now with
I
the visionary change.
I played it the other night and I made a replay, but it wasn't a good game to go over because like I just got everything.
Yeah.
Like I 3-starred everything. Like
Hmm.
it's just one of those games where everything went your way.
Yeah. Okay, let's go back and look at augment here because you see family crown and you're like, okay, we play family from here, but I'm still not really that convinced that family. Like, okay, so your spot is you have family crown. You don't have a powder or a Vander yet, so you're not a 3 or 4 family here yet, and your items are pretty
Trash.
sus to play family from. Yeah. There's obviously you're not going to slam a JG and play family here. The redemption even from family crown is like, I mean, it's fine. It's like not amazing. So, I mean, just off the bats, I probably would not just end up taking family crown here. You could take probably default to like pumping up here. If you're gonna take family crown here, you should definitely reroll the other augments in case you hit something. Like I don't know, prismatic prelude is really really good. There are a lot of like very very solid prismatics these days, or some kind of like really good +1 that you're interested. Like a scrap +1 or something like that. Like there's a lot of good stuff that you could get here. So yeah, I mean, well, we'll go down the route of watching this game and seeing how it went. But I do think you could probably have played a very different game just taking a different augment here. And I think you're not putting yourself down the best path just taking family crown here.
I don't disagree. I think some of the thinking was like, I'm sick of being contested on everything. And I was like, nobody's gonna contest me on family. And then that doesn't end up being the case somewhat.
Oh no, you had to play contested family? I mean,
Like
that's somewhat
slightly, not
okay.
really. They're going ambusher more than they're going family,
Okay.
but like the powder thing, but
Yeah. Okay. Well,
it's still a little annoying.
yeah, it sounds very annoying. But yeah, okay. So I mean, you're in the spot. Your open items are glove plus I don't love something the Irelia pair. I mean, you're probably not going to end up playing it, but like if you end up
I
hitting
just
an Irelia too, it would be nice to have that as an option.
I think I like the Singe like steroid better is what I was thinking. I was like, at least he does something for my Violet.
Yeah, I'm down to play him for now, but also like next round you hit a Irelia 2. Like I would always play Irelia 2 over Singed 1, though you end up hitting Singed 2, so it all works out. I mean, if we're gonna play family, also not really like we should not. If you're playing 1+3, you should not ever level stage 2, just because like the general idea 1+3 is you want to like not spend any XP, and then when you get to 3-1, you will still be level 4. You'll be level 4 8 out of 10, and then you can just roll on 3-1. And when you're playing around like 1 cost specifically, like that gives you, you know, a ton of gold that you can roll on level 4, which, you know, is 55% odds. Once you hit level 5, you go down a lot in your odds of hitting. It's it's 55 down to 45 on level 5. So you lose 10% odds of hitting 1 cost when you go to level 5. And so like you'd prefer to do as much rolling as possible on level 4. But like leveling here, like it's, you know, you're never really gonna be able to roll on 4 now, because like, you know, you're gonna be naturally leveled up by the time you get to Krugs.
Okay, that makes less. That's something I will make note of actually.
Yeah. Cause yeah, like, you know, I think you wanted to level here because like, oh, my board's pretty strong. I want to get powder in and stuff like this, but it's just going to make it so much harder for you to find stuff like Violet 3, stuff like Powder 3, Draven, the Darius as well. Like, especially a comp like this. Like, other comps, you could maybe get away with it. I would also sell Urgot here, make 20. Like, Urgot, he's whatever. Like, it's not like you're going to get to 4 Pit Fighter. Like, you're pretty far off getting to 4 Pit Fighter. Your next in, like, if you find it, is going to be like a Vander. So, like, you don't need Urgot, and, like, making 20 feels, like, really good right now. So
this makes me so sad right here. Like that person like just
Oh,
steals it from me. I'm like, I hate people.
yeah. I mean, it's. I mean, that's
I'm like,
TFT for you.
I wanted the tear so bad.
Mhm. Yeah, but like, I mean, I don't even mind that much that you don't get tier here. Like, the sword is actually very nice. The sword can be so many things. You know, whereas tier is like, it's gonna be Hodge, and like you slam it for, like, you would slam it for tempo, but like the downside is that like if you get another tier, it's kind of awkward. Oh yeah, and this guy, yeah, I mean, they have a bunch of family units on board. It almost looks like they are just straight up playing family, which is pretty scary. We could hold Gangplank here. He'll eventually potentially go on. I mean, he can definitely go onto the board. He's you'd even be playing GP right now over Urgot, but once you hit 4 family, I like playing it. I mean, you could even think about. I mean, I would probably just cut the, like, if we were holding onto the GP, just sell the Singed and play GP here. You get Scrap in, you get another Pit Fighter in, like, makes it easier to get to 4 Pit Fighter later. And it's like, you're going to be tanky enough with the Vander, I think. But yeah, so like, you know, we've already pushed level 5 in this setup, which means like, it's almost like we're playing like kind of like tempo family where we're just like pushing levels and stuff. It doesn't really, I don't know, like it's going to make the game kind of weird because like, I mean, we could just roll on 5 for everything, but it's also like, you know, once again, 45% odds on level 5 versus 55% of finding 1 cost on level 4. So like you're losing 10% odds finding your 1 cost. And in this comp, you're rolling for Violet, Powder, Draven, Darius, like you're rolling for 4 1 costs. So trying to optimize your odds of finding 1 cost as much as possible is good. But like here, like this is the upside to picking up sword, is that like there's a lot of stuff you can build out of sword. You can build like Edge of Night, you can build BT as well, I think is quite reasonable there. I mean, I would definitely go reforge one chain. I would just reforge the rod here. Yeah, because like
Here's what I'm thinking. I'm
uh-huh.
thinking like Sterix, or do I go with Sunfire?
Mm-hmm. But
I
like
end up going with Sunfire.
like had you reforged the rod instead of the chain, I mean, you know, you wouldn't know exactly what you'd get, but then, you know, you could end up potentially going both if you got like another belt or something.
I think the reasoning behind the rod is I want to Gensu's for Draven at some point.
Yeah, and like,
So
I don't know.
and I think I want to go Echo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
So
Quincy's Draven is like fine, but I think in this comp, like first and foremost, you prioritize getting items on Violet. And then like after that, you can really worry about other stuff, especially because you're 4 family here, like potentially even getting to like 5 family. Like I really want to prioritize Violet over Draven just because, you know, like, yeah, it's just like Draven is not going to be like the primary carry on this board. I mean, Pandora's is kind of interesting where, I mean, you probably honestly have to take it. Like it helps
I
with
figure it bails me out.
yeah, exactly. Like it helped, but like you could have probably been in a better spot had we, you know, just stayed level 4 and then done the roll on 3-1 at level 4. But this does like actually, it helps you get to all the stuff that you need to get to. You can okay, you should cut Singed at this point. Like he's not doing anything trait wise on your board. And you can get just the Darius over him. But what you could do is actually remove the Singed so that you could roll a Singed 2 on your bench. Would be nice. Because yeah, like you don't need the Singed. You take him out, you get Watcher and Conk in on your board. And then you just burn a remover, but then you get to like reroll a Singed 2, and then you can dig for, you know, your 2-star 1 cost that you really want in this spot.
Sucks I ran into build a buddy guy.
Yeah, yeah.
There's no beating that at this point.
Yeah, I mean his board's pretty good. Okay, hit this. You really want to I mean you should definitely roll here. Yeah. Okay, you pick up the Amumu, which is good. You want to hold as many one costs on your bench as possible because like like holding this Lux pair is good, but I mean we're gonna have to re-roll her this round. But like, if you had
What
the
pair?
opportunity to roll stuff instead of the Lux, it would be good just because like, if you can hit a 2-star Lux, then you can start rolling a 2-star one cost. So like prioritizing like picking up as many one costs as possible when you roll is really helpful because then you can potentially roll a 2-star, which is good. But yeah, it's like we should have Darius in here. We'd be getting all these Conqueror stacks. Like we could maybe eventually get to like the 2-star 2 cost from Conquer and then like start rerolling that would be nice. So
Yeah, I don't know why I have that Singe in there still.
yeah, it's just
I do get them out soon. I just don't know. Like, just it's late.
yeah, no, sometimes in TFT, you just like look at your board and you're like, why is this unit sitting on my board? He's been sitting on my board for like, 5 or 6 rounds or something. It's just yeah, I don't know. That's how it is sometimes. Maybe I was hoping that you would hit this Darius and then be like, oh, now that I have this Darius, I need to put him in. But like sometimes you just need something to kind of like jog your brain to do it.
I know I
Yeah,
need board space. I'm like, God, I need board space. Hit it.
yeah.
Pretty sure I hit it next turn.
Okay. Okay. And you went Hodge off Carousel. I mean, I would rather go for like Sterax. Like, I just feel like, I mean, Vi's unit, the double healing is fine on. Most melee heroes double healing is like okay on, but I kind of would rather. Oh, and there's Darius 3. Okay, now surely we'll be like, oh, we got to get out of this Singed. Oh, okay, over Powder. Well, I mean, at least we got the Darius 3 in. You even remove the Singed, you're like, okay, like we need to get these items off of him.
It's a
But like,
mistake.
yeah, but we
This
still
I,
have the,
I don't even know if it occurred to me to move the Singe and reroll them.
yeah.
Like I'm
Most,
thinking pairs. You can tell that I'm thinking like one
yeah.
cost pairs,
Yep, yep.
but not that.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that was definitely an
speaking
oversight.
about TFT DGen hours, maybe this is I don't know when you played this
This was
game,
like
but
an hour ago.
oh, okay. Well, this is a
Like
warm up
second game
game.
of the day,
It's a
first
warm
game of the
up
day.
game.
Yeah,
You just woke up. It's like you're still groggy.
I was groggy. Exactly.
I mean, I would sell the Silco first before the powder. Why are we holding Silco so that we can give him a
I'm
family emblem and have it be part of the
no, I'm
family?
thinking reroll for Echo or reroll for Vi. I'm thinking like get it because I know that one guy is contesting me, so I'm like, I don't know what I'm
Like it'll be
thinking.
hard to hit
I know
powder. Mm-hmm.
I know I'm gonna want to go. Well, I'm not even gonna try to hit powder
Mm-hmm.
because I know that guy's got it. That's like his main focus, and I'm thinking I want to go like more like 8 and get like a good like all around board like with
Mm-hmm.
Vi and like with Echo family. But I
Yeah.
don't know if that's the right play or not. I make some very interesting choices. You'll see.
Okay.
Some
All
very,
right.
very interesting anomaly choices. Some very
Okay. I'm
interesting
interested.
lots of stuff.
Don't take little buddies. Mentorship is pretty decent. Okay, you definitely should reroll little buddies first. Like this is an augment that buffs your 4 costs on this board, and all of the power in your board is in your like 1 and 2 costs.
So I
Like yeah,
did reroll.
yeah. But like you rerolled the middle augment first, which is mentorship, which I
Oh,
actually think is pretty good in your comp. Like mentorship, you can easily just have Vander next to the Vi and stuff, and the Violet, and like buff up Violet. Like I think that's like
well,
pretty solid.
here
Um,
comes interesting choice number one. I feel like
Oh, well, we're looking at another anomaly. I mean, I don't think Blazing Soul is very good. Another anomaly. I mean, my only issue with another anomaly is that like you do need like an open like slot to put it on.
I agree. That kind of sucks.
Which is kind of weird. Like you already have a lot of items, and it's also then like what the goal, like the ideal case, I guess, is we hit something that's like good on Violet and Darius, and then like we use that, which I mean seems
I was
somewhat.
thinking the 4-star, 2 different units was my original thought, but it does not go that way, and I picked something very different.
Yeah, how does that work exactly with another anomaly? Because like I mean maybe I don't know. I haven't done the 4-star one with this. So
Neither have I. I was just like crafting
actually,
on the go. I
now
was
that I
like, if I
think
threw it,
about it, I mean you can't know this because it's not available information, but like I think people have just said, but I'm pretty sure if you take another anomaly, you cannot get Ultimate Hero. Is the
ooh,
yeah, it's like they don't allow you to get the two together. So that
that
is
is
yeah. Yeah.
Fantastic information to know.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Which I was not
one of
aware.
one of those things where it's like, yeah, I mean, there's no way of knowing. You just kind of have to know somehow. Oh, we finally that was finally the singed outright. Um, so that's good. And then yeah, you make VT here. But yeah, I'm pretty yeah, you definitely after thinking about it, yeah, that's something that I remember people complaining about. Is just like you cannot hit them both together. So yeah, a little bit unfortunate. So yeah, I mean at this point you're just pushing levels. I think it's pretty reasonable. We've already hit Violet 3 and Darius 3. Like you said, powders would be pretty hard to hit, and we're still rolling the Syra 2 to look for Draven. Like I think you used your econ pretty well this game. I would have wanted to scout the dude and see how many powders they had, but I mean, yeah, gain
I
20.
know he.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say this. I really thought about this for a minute, but I don't have any familiarity with it. And like you can tell, I almost wanted to go with this. I was like, man, eventually, I feel like that'll really stack up to a lot of damage.
Mm-hmm. This is new this patch, right? I don't
Yeah, I think so because
I
and I think that's why I didn't go with it. I'm just like I'm
you've
scared. I'm like
never
I don't know
tried
it.
before? I mean, actually it sounds pretty good, especially like Violet. I would definitely
Plus, I was gonna have two of them, so I'm like stick one on Vi. Like
mm-hmm.
that could
Yeah.
really add up.
No, it sounds good. I'm down to take it.
So then
Um
I'm like, two center of
this
the universe just can't be bad.
I mean, that's pretty cool. I am a hater of center of the universe on melee units just because you're not getting these like big stars orbiting everything. Like you're not able to hit like the entire board. Oh yeah, and this guy's power 3 at this point. So
And I'm like, man, can I blow her up real quick? No, but she kind of really like she hurt me.
and the center of the universe actually looks pretty decent. The double one.
Yeah, the damage,
Mm-hmm.
the damage ends up like being pretty significant. I
And
was
you hit
kind
the
of
Draven 3.
surprised.
Nice. I think I would just put the other anomaly on Draven though, just to get like you'll have one. You kind of can split the difference. You have one on the front line and then one on the back line. This Draven's gonna like the downside to like doing a frontliner with this anomaly is that they just have a chance of just dying randomly, and then you're not in a good spot, So that's the only downside to it. GP in GP for pit fighter
I
instead
don't.
of. I mean, we have this guy in for yeah. We have Scar in for the firelight for the echo that we don't even have yet. So yeah.
I make in composition mistakes for sure. Like I eventually put in like a Jinx one, and it's like, what is that really doing for me? I
Hmm.
prioritize Echo way more than I should in this game. I feel like
Yeah.
I should have just like leaned into maybe the Vi.
Yep.
Like you're
Exactly.
saying, I should have put the another anomaly on Darius. I probably should have put the family thing on Vi and like leaned into Vi because I think if I really would have leaned into Vi, I could have 3-starter this game. To be honest,
Okay. Let's see.
I
But
don't
yeah,
think anyone else is playing her, and like I think that's one of the biggest mistakes I end up making.
yeah. I think the traditional way to play this comp is like yeah, you just push levels and you just play as many. I mean, there's a Urgot too that we could play on our board as well for 4 pit fighter. But yeah, it's just like play as many pit fighter as possible. Eventually, you get to Savika and play like 6 pit fighter. Like that's the dream. Because like right now we're playing this Garen, and he's like whatever. He's 3 Watchers, so it's not like we're jumping up in Watchers. He's a little bit of HP onto our units, but like 4 Pit Fighter is such a big spike for this board compared to a random Garen on our board. So yeah, just like yeah, and you're holding all the Firelight units. Like yeah, I feel like you're playing this comp more like you play like one of those like Firelight type comps where you play around like a Kog'Maw or a Zeri reroll or something. Like when instead, like we have all these GPs that we're skipping, the Urgot that we sold. Eventually, you can roll this Kate, eventually find a Savika, level for that. Like that's the dream in this comp.
I was holding the Zeri just to try to make a two
A 2
cost
star?
pair.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fair.
for the Vander.
Hmm.
It just
Yeah, that's
happened to
fair.
be Firelight.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, it just looked a little silly, but okay, fair enough then. Yeah, and I mean, you're rolling a bit on 7. I don't actually really like rolling here, just because like your ideas were rolling for Vander 3, but I guess if we hit Vander, we can move these Darius items over to him. But like, ooh, Pit Fighter spat one time. I mean,
Nope. I
anyone
don't
else see
even do
one?
it. Like the
Please,
Pitfire
please,
thing
come on. What are we
is
taking instead?
oblivious.
Archangels? Like, enforcer? Why? For what reason? A 2 enforcer for Vi? Why go 2 enforcer for Vi when we could go like 8 pit fighter or something? 7 or even just an early 6 pit fighter. Like, yeah, yeah.
The
This
Pitfighter
is
thing just never occurred to me. Like I made huge mistakes with the in composition.
yeah, yeah. But
I
okay.
think just due to like infamiliarity with it. Like I
Hmm.
have no idea what the end game like. Yeah, the pit fighter thing just never occurred to me.
Yeah, well, it's just like you're playing so much around. Like, what are the strongest units on your board here? It's Violet, it's Vi, it's Draven. Like you're playing so much around pit
I
fighters
got
on this board.
three of them, three pit fighter, three watcher, and I
Hmm.
notice it too. And I'm like, what do I do instead?
Hmm. But yeah, and also like yeah, like you really prioritize the Echo, but like why? He's two
Dumb.
Ambusher on this board. Ambusher for our powder with 0 items, who's powder 2. Like she's not doing anything. It's scrap, like
He has
okay.
no items.
Yeah, we do get to scrap a tier on him, which is nice, I guess, but definitely not better than playing more into the pit fighters that are what really are carrying our board. And yeah, like the family emblem as well. Like you kind of just leave it on, like you talked about. Definitely, I would prefer that to be on the Vi, just because yeah, like who really cares
CC.
about? Yeah, it's just like yeah, family onto this Echo doesn't really do anything, but like all the extra like stats onto the Vi, yeah, would be way nicer. So yeah, and yeah, you're holding the Jinx as well. I mean, this is like you're playing it as the Arcane comp. You're just putting in all the units from Arcane on your board, which yeah, I mean. I don't know if you've seen the like Easter egg. If you get family, if you get a bunch of family emblems, I haven't been able to get it yet. But it's like if you have family emblem on who is it? It's like Jinx,
Yeah, it's all the
Warwick.
arcane. You get
Yeah,
like what is it? They 4-star or something. All
I
of
think
them.
so. I think something like that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
haven't gotten in any of my games yet, but yeah, I've heard
So
you just
what
like win the game.
happened is I have no familiarity really with family. So I pulled up exactly what I just sent you and I put that in the team planner and that's just pretty much what I was playing towards instead of like just trying to like I feel like if I had just played like putting it together myself a little bit, maybe I would have leaned more into pit fighter, but I got stuck on this. Hence why I have the Jinx. But
Mm,
I'm thinking about it like I have no items to put on Jinx. She's never gonna cast even if I get her in.
yeah,
She's gonna die doing nothing.
yeah. Well, I mean, it even says on the in the little thing on TFT Academy, 4 Watcher is flexible and can be replaced by pit fighters or 6 costs.
Yeah.
Like
It
it's.
requires me to read that. I literally pulled it up. It was just like, put this
But
in.
yeah, I mean, I'm definitely down to use stuff like yeah, like TFT Academy to get a good like especially if there's a comp where you're not really familiar with it, just to get a sense for what units you're looking for. If this is I don't know, how many games would you say? Yeah.
I will
This
say the center of the universe is kind
Yeah,
of
yeah, it's
pumping.
actually doing a lot of work. This augment is or this anomaly is pretty sick.
How many
Um
games of family have I played? Oh
yeah.
my god. In like the last 50 games, probably two. This is probably the second.
Yeah, okay.
Like ever since they did the little thing where
Oh my
like I
god.
wasn't really good anymore. See, like, and I'm still not leaning into the oh yeah, here, I
Yeah.
die here. I think I put it together here where it's like, oh man, I should get by.
Yeah,
I
I
might be
mean,
able to
what
win if
a
I get her, but then I die.
I mean that's tragic. Oh, this fight's pretty close as well. Yeah, slightly better board, and you can win that fight. I mean, yeah, you can definitely win this game with a Vi 3. All right, yeah, I mean, yeah. So, I mean, if it's a comp that you're uncomfortable with, I definitely don't mind using something like TFT Academy to get like a sense for what you can play around. But yeah, I definitely think like there is there is definitely a thing where like and everybody does this to some degree in TFT where you oversimplify the game for yourself and you're like, okay, well I'm always going to play Garen on my board. I want the Scar and I'm holding like exactly these units, but then you pass up stuff like being able to play 4 Pit Fighter. Instead you're just stuck on 3 Pit Fighter, 3 Watcher for like a few rounds. That just it's crazy. So I mean, I do think like that's definitely something that it's a little bit hard. And like once I think the more reps you have on a comp, the easier it is to do to say, okay, I'm gonna be a little bit flexible in my mid game board. And I'm not just gonna roll down for the Scar and the Garen and the Echo and stuff. I'm gonna say, okay, if I find a GP, boom, put it on my board. That's for Pit Fighter. Like that is an upgrade on my board. It's definitely harder to do, but it's really helpful if you can just yeah, just every single round play around the units that you've hit and just play your strongest board based on what you have. And then, once you get to if you hit like Echo 2, I would not mind at all putting Family Emblem on Echo 2. Like, I think it's very reasonable, but yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think I got pigeon or whatever, like one track minded in that game. And I honestly think that game was winnable if you make like small little corrections throughout, like in the pit fighter, maybe move into pit fighter instead, focusing on the Vi, making a couple small changes. I think that game potentially winnable.
Hmm. I also don't even
Uh,
know. Like this is Family Emblem's best on Echo. I mean, it seems fine. I was just looking at the stats and like it looks fine on Echo. But I mean, the stats say it's slightly better on Vi, which I mean, I don't know. Maybe they have some filters that they've set up to make it better on Echo. Like maybe there's something that I'm not looking at. But yeah, I mean, maybe that's like including the stats of hitting the like win the game thingy, but I don't know. I mean, that seems very infrequent. But I mean, whatever. I mean, I certainly think it's fine on Echo. Had you hit like Echo 2, I think it'd be downplaying around it, but you hit that buy 2 so early. So yeah.
It's just stupid not to like focus on your strongest part and like make that.
Hmm.
Yeah, very silly. This game was awful. I don't know why, but
Okay.
it says god awful game.
All right. That's good. I'm excited. All right. We're in
I'm
Victor Portal
excited,
here. Oh,
excited for the god awful game.
those are the most interesting ones, right?
I feel like I'm trying not to play scrap, and I also feel like playing scrap as much as I did with the lose streak and not playing best board kind of messed up like actually playing
Yeah.
decent TFT.
Yeah, it will. I mean, yes, I
Dude,
was
it kind
watching
of
how you were playing in those games. You were like not looking at the units in your shop at all. You were just saying like, okay, I'm only gonna buy the scrap units. If I hit them, great. If I don't, that's fine. I'll just full open. I mean, even stuff like this, like hold those 2 extra units in your shop. You're probably not gonna play them last round, but like maybe you will. And stuff like
feel like
that
I was
can.
alt tabbed.
Yeah, it could be.
No, I feel like I was alt tabbed during the game, even though I wasn't. Like
Oh
when I was
yeah,
playing
yeah.
some of those at a certain point. All
All
right,
right. So one for all NFTs, blistering strikes.
I think I
Um,
hate all of these.
yeah, I mean, I like Band of Thieves. I think the other two are pretty. I would never roll that one
Okay,
first.
I mess up right here. I'm just
Okay.
letting you know. I clicked the wrong thing, and I almost want to just like quit.
What you're taking? Oh, what are we doing here?
I'm looking, and I
Oh.
accident.
Oh, it's not even. Well, it's pretty bad, but it's not
Dude,
that
it's
bad.
so bad. I feel so bad right now. I'm like, oh my freaking god! Like,
What were you looking at taking in this spot? The
I think I was looking at taking the left one.
the one cost
Yeah,
one
the one for all and playing some kind of like like
sort. You.
something or visionary maybe because it had
Mm,
so many one costs. I
yeah.
was thinking, because I mean you got Singe, you got Aurelia, you got what's her Vex,
Vex.
Morgana,
Yep.
like
More.
there's like 5 of them or something that you play in that comp, and I was like, oh maybe, and it's
Hmm.
strong right now. So I think I'm looking. Does anybody have like? And then I mess up.
Yeah, it happens. I mean, I
'Cause I
wouldn't.
already had the Singe, and I was like, maybe. I don't know. I had the
You have us
Sorcerer.
singed. I don't know. It's a little sketchy to try to play reroll comp from just singed. Your items are pretty good for it, actually. You're like half of everything for that comp, so that's kind of good. Like Lost Streak into tier, and you could play it pretty reasonably.
I
But
would have took anything over lunch money. I can tell you that. God, I was so sad.
well, like I think you can put together a decent board, though. I mean, the only problem is you don't really have an item slam in this spot, which is pretty rough.
Nothing.
But like you could play like this Swain is actually really, really nice on your board. Swain, get Darius
Sorcerer.
in as well for Conquer. And then if you find like a Vladimir, then your board actually looks pretty good. Yeah, the big issue is that you don't have anything to really slam in this spot. Like I guess the only thing you could slam is Morello. And then hold sword open for like Shojin. But yeah, like even this fight, like our board's not that bad. We almost win this fight. I mean, this is definitely like if you just play Darius over this random, you really love the Singed unit. Every game you're playing Singed randomly as frontline. But yeah, just random.
Like
Yeah,
the Scar's dumb. That makes me mad. But not having something to slam really did suck. I was like, damn.
yeah.
And you can tell I can't decide which one to play. I'm like, do I take the 1 cost, 3 costs? Do I play the Conqueror? Do I not?
If you're gonna do this, then I would just cut the Zyra for Darius here, and then you get Watcher and Conquer in. Like seems fine. I would still even consider not doing that just so that I can make 10 gold here. But hey, look, you win a fight. We don't do enough damage to proc lunch money because only a 1 unit win. But I mean, still not bad. I mean, there's a Vladimir that's here if we could get that. Oh, well, now we can't get that. Kind of sad. Okay.
I think the reason why I didn't slam, like, there's some bad item choices here too, but the reason why I didn't slam like the Morellos is because I was thinking like it can turn into such good, like
Hmm.
Nashor's Tooth, Archangels, or something. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know.
I mean, when your
I think
board
I
was
slammed a Warmogs at some point, and that's stupid.
here. Like, yeah, I mean, I'd rather generally go Sunfire than Warmogs. I think Warmogs is fine. It's not that great on like if we end up playing around Swain this game, it's not that great on Swain himself, just because he doesn't really and we level after combat this round as well. Yeah.
Yeah, see, dude. I mean, it gets worse. Like, there's so many mistakes. I
Okay,
think
I'll
this is
say
the
yeah,
first
definitely.
game I played today. This one
Okay.
I was asleep.
It
Let's
happens.
make sure. Yeah, see, it's a game right before the family game. It was the
Yeah.
first game of the day.
Well, yeah. Okay. So good warm up game. Good. Just
Oh, this
getting.
is bad. It's such bad.
But okay. I mean,
I think I end up in scrap somehow.
yeah. I mean, it's always good to play scrap. It's never a bad spot to play it. Comp is just so insane.
See, but then when you go, the most frustrating thing is like you're going in, you're lose streak, and everything's going great. You look over at 3-1 and someone has 2 Corkies at level 5 or something, and you're just like, how? How?
It's
Level
fine.
7,
You
level
still hit
7, they got
anyway.
Rumble.
Oh my god, Swain pair is nice. I mean, you can think about I don't know how much you've played it. You can think about like actually playing around sorcerers this game, like sorcerer. People really like sorcerer emissary, like for emissary, is quite good. And then like you can actually do it like Swain reroll type stuff, or if you're in a good spot, you can also just like push levels.
I know I was terrible at playing the old sorcerer comp. I feel like what it would happen is I would end up like building too many damage items and not having enough front line.
Mm,
Just get ran over. I
see.
really want to make items because I feel so bad having that augment and not having a good board. And I can just tell like the whole time I just feel like I need to make a better board.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah. I
wasting my
mean,
augment.
after these items, playing Sork does become pretty difficult. So yeah, I
And that's
feel.
what I'm thinking. I'm like, I don't know what to do with these things. Like I'm like, I got a guard breaker, a death blade, a IE, like I got a Morello's or a gunblade, I guess. Like JG. What do we do here?
Portable.
We take the artifact, which we
Yeah, I
get
mean,
shitty.
all right, let's go back and look at your augment options. I mean, your augment options are pretty awkward. I'm definitely. What was the rightmost one before you rerolled? I mean, yeah, I don't really like glass cannon very much. I just don't think it's that good. Oh, cloning facility. Cloning facility is not bad. You could look at that. I would probably lean that more than I would lean portable forge here, just because I don't know what like. I'm not sure what the idea is here with portable forge. Like, what are we hoping to get in this spot? I guess from portable forge.
I feel like direction, maybe. I
Hmm.
just feel like I'm floundering at this point.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
a strong item so we can win some fights and make some use of our. But yeah, like I don't know if there really was that much logic, to be honest. But I know that like what I have is garbage.
Yeah, no, I mean this definitely feels a bit rough. And like we're also because we're lost streak with lunch money, it's not like we're like making a bunch of gold either. Like we're a little poor in this spot as well. Yeah, I mean the only kind of saving grace is that we do have this like Swain pair, which I think could play nicely into Sorks, but then our items are so I mean, I guess you could make the items work theoretically, like Guardbreaker, Gunblade, Shojin, and then you could play Sorks. Wouldn't mind that much. I mean, I think like that's kind of what we have to look at in this spot, just because we're so poor. Like, man, I
I
like
think I'm
leveling here.
thinking form swapper at some point, maybe
Hmm.
conquer form swapper or something. Maybe I just know that my items suck and I need to like get out of what I had. I can't play sorcerers because I think I was wanting to do that.
Hmm.
I
Yeah, I
just
mean, I just think like Form Swapper. I don't know. I'm never excited to play a comp where you have to find a 5 cost to play it because like there are just some games where you just like if we're trying to play around like 4 form swapper and we roll down and we don't hit a Jace, then like oh well we can't really play it then. So that's my hesitation with trying to play something like that. It's just like yeah we just might not hit. Um,
I also have no idea how to play it.
yeah. I mean it's yeah I mean, it's a very like niche comp. Like I feel like you only play it when you like high roll and hit the Jace and then you can like do that and be excited about it. But like in a spot like this, you like belts here. I don't know. You really like this Warmog. I mean, I guess you didn't end up building it, but like you take another belt. Like now we're looking more at playing Warmogs. Also, we have
What are the options?
let's look back
Let's
here.
see
Yeah,
here.
I think like you go for the tier, which would have been nice if we could have gotten it, but then you can't pick it
Yeah,
up. I mean, like with the idea of playing like Sork Emissary. I think Embessa with Cloak is pretty reasonable. You could go Onyx Spark. We don't have a Marshred yet, right? And it's an Embessa for you. It's also like right now that would be 4 Conch on your board as well. Like you could just take that, make Onyx Spark, play around 4 Conqueror for a little while, and then eventually get into 4 Sork for Emissary. I think would be pretty reasonable. Because yeah, like we take Beltier and then like I don't know, you almost have to make Warmogs, but it's like I don't know, Warmogs with Hull Crusher already. Like you're already getting so much HP from Hull Crusher that I feel like Warmog's Hull Crusher is a little bit like suboptimal. It's like you just have
Redundant.
yeah. It's like yeah, Hull Crusher. I feel like the biggest thing is giving you a ton of HP, and then like even more HP on top of that. I mean, you just need a unit with a ton of resists, and like I mean, Darius, not really. I don't know. Maybe get to like an Alawi later or something. Yeah, we're getting some more gold from our for lunch money. It wasn't even that bad. Um, but yeah, you're looking at leveling up here. Also, we should just be playing 4 Conch on this board for now. I don't know, because we got the Rel off carousel, so we can just play Rel plus Draven for now. And it's
So
also
I think
whatchamacallit, Pit Fighter on the board.
I think this is where like I'm like, this guy's got a lot of stuff that I might want.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like everywhere I looked was Conqueror.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not really trying to play like Conqueror. Like, I would just play 4 Conqueror for a few rounds and then get out of it. But, you know, like maybe that can get you up to 35 stacks, which would be a nice, especially because you're in a spot where you're not that rich. So, you know, like instead of getting, you know, up to 22 stacks here, we might already be at like 30 or something like that. Oh, and then you hit Corkyles, and then you're like, okay, we're playing Scrap, which, I mean, I'm down for. Why not? Why shouldn't we? I mean, it's
Yeah,
like,
I think that
it's the best
immediate. I
comp.
think
We naturaled the 2/4 costs. Well, everything but Echo, basically. We already have an IE made. I mean, yeah, it's like I think like you said, it might be a little bit of a crutch at this point to play around Scrap so much, just because it's like, well, it's like kind of so broken that you can just play it almost always. But yeah. Okay, move IE here. We have all these rods that we're probably gonna end up having to scrap. Maybe we have Spark. You make Spark
well,
here.
I'm thinking Death Cap with Tier on Echo already.
Oh, I like Spark a lot on Echo in this comp. I feel like it's so
That
good.
too. I think I end up getting it. I think I
Okay,
do because
we'll
it
see.
is really good.
Yeah.
That or I sometimes like to build the Spark on GP because it gives them a little attack speed and it like it's the magic shred too. I like that. I kind
Like
of like that on
frontline
him.
GP, because like if you're
Yeah.
backlining, then oh, yeah, okay. I think teaming up is good here, and then you just go level 8 and roll
Did I
it down.
say Spark? I meant
Yeah.
the
Oh,
static ship.
Shiv. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's it. That's what I meant.
yeah. Okay, we hit Corky too. We hit this. We hit another Corky, which yeah, you kind of have to hold. I mean, we hit a lot of stuff here. It's a little bit awkward. We Hull Crushed our
Everything's
Corky.
awkward.
I don't know about Hull Crusher on Corky. Oh, we got Knight's Vow. I mean, that's pretty awkward as well.
It'll be good later with the shields, right? Doesn't no, it's the different one.
What
Yeah, it
Hull
sucks
Crusher?
having nice.
Oh, Knight's Vow. Yeah, it's not great. I mean, honestly, you can frontline Corky and then gets Knight's value onto Corky, which is kind of fun.
This whole game's awkward as hell.
Yeah. Oh,
Like
then you hit Echo here.
I don't have 6 scrap though. I'm like, so here I'm like, oh, I got the tier on there, right? I'm like, this is gonna turn into Hand of Justice, and then I notice it doesn't, and that's when it clicks. It's like, oh, I need a Trundle.
Mm-hmm.
What did turn into a Hand of Justice? So
It did.
maybe I don't
Well, yeah, it did this round. So nice.
Maybe I don't figure it out this round. But I'm like, damn, this guy's strong.
Yeah, I mean this. I would just rather have this.
Did you see the teleport
Well,
though? Look, watch.
Oh,
Boop.
what the fuck? Well,
that's what I said.
Well, he was
happened?
casting and he like froze while he was casting. If
But
so,
it
like
even did the blue animation, like he
was supposed to be flying the
teleported.
entire way, but then he like stopped. But then he did basically like teleport because he was supposed to be flying, but then he just didn't for some reason. I want this Hull Crusher just on Elise, and then you can just put her away from your other scrap dudes, because like yeah. Oh,
I just typed my item sucked. I get this Warwick, and
Yeah,
this Warwick I feel like saves my game in a lot of ways.
This is fantastic for you here. I mean,
I should put like Hull Crusher on him. Like the item choices are very bad.
Yeah, I like Hull Crusher Warwick here. That'd be nice. And then you make the full Hodge. I'd probably save this Hodge for like Last Whisper. Yeah, the glove for Last Whisper. I mean, because like the tier is, I mean, if you find Trundle, I guess, or honestly at this point, I feel like, I mean, we're not more likely, but I almost feel like we're more likely to find Rumble at this point. But and then we find the Trundle last second. Okay, good. But like, you probably shouldn't roll to 0 there right before anomaly because now we only have 5 refreshes for this, which is a little scary.
Such a bad game. I think this is dramatic entrance, first of all. And did
Uh-huh.
you see me type? I was like, my items are so bad. But then I get it to where, like, I've played scrap enough games to where I know the lucky items and stuff. Like, I do such a bad job on that. I end up with nothing but completed items. Like, it's bad. I end up taking out 6 scrap at the end because I don't even think it's good. It's not giving me really any value.
Yeah, I mean, we're scrapping 2 items right now. Yeah, it's
I end up
pretty rough.
scrapping none.
Oh, God. Okay. Well, then, yeah, I mean, at that point, why are we playing scrap?
It's bad.
Yeah, I mean, scrap's an interesting comp. Like, there's so much to optimize on it that that like I don't know. I feel like even when whenever I play it, I always feel like like I could have done this like one little thing to like make this item better on Corki or something like that. I mean, that's like I don't know. It makes it, in my opinion, like a cool comp to play a lot in one trick because you do get to like iron out all that kind of stuff. I thought it was dramatic entrance.
I did. I thought it was. I was like, why didn't my Warwick jump in all
Yeah.
willy nilly? Because I end up getting out of this and going to a complete like CC comp because I feel like my board isn't very good, but I feel like I get the right units to where I can almost CC a board for like. I end up playing like that Elise with the diving in with Victor, and like I'm against a Nocturne player, and it just like ruins his day.
Yeah. That sounds okay. I'm excited to see it. Yeah. Okay. And then you kind of just
I,
roll down. I mean,
I think I keep this Jinx, which is stupid.
yeah. I mean, I also like you're rolling into 0 in this spot. I feel like your board can just go 9 though. Like your Corki 2, at least 2. The only thing you're missing is Echo 2 here. You have the Warwick as well here. Like your board's quite strong at this spot. I mean, now you hit Echo 2. Like now I definitely think we can push 9. But I think you're like overrolling in this spot just because I don't know. I partially because you're probably like, oh, my items suck. Like I need to figure out. But also like, imagine this board, but instead of scrapping one, oh, maybe we'll scrap 2 components here. No, we're still holding on to this chain vest for fun. But like, instead of scrapping 2 components here, we could just be scrapping, 6 components here, be up all those items, and then, and then our board would be really strong. And then you can actually go 9 here because like, being stuck level 8 this poor, at least, lunch money's kind of cashing in here and getting you stuff. But okay, Edge of Night.
Still a Hull Crusher on the Corki. Huge mistake.
Yeah, and also we just used our last 2 components to make a full item here. Yeah, I mean, why are we playing scrap if we're I mean, yeah, it sounds like you agree. Is that like, yeah, why at this point, like why are we playing scrap if we're not scrapping a single item at this point, which is I mean, yeah, it's quite
Stupid.
tragic. Yeah.
I'm just trying to lean into this Warwick. I'm like, I know
Yeah, I mean, he's doing work. I agree. I think
it's a very interesting too what happens on the last fight. I find that
all right.
it's all
We still don't have Armor Shred, right? Is the Last Whisper open? I'd be down for that. Yeah. No Armor Shred yet, so I like Last Whisper here. And they could just be, I mean, Guardbreaker's fine, but Last Whisper without Armor Shred definitely would be better in this spot.
can't get over that lunch money.
But it actually ends up like honestly, it sounds like you just took lunch money and like put you on tilt the entire game, and like the entire game you were just like in your head complaining like, I can't believe I had lunch money. But at this point, I mean, how much gold did you hover it? Like how much gold is it giving you? I feel like it's giving you like a decent amount of gold
It
at this
doesn't tell you
point.
a total. That's what
Oh, it
sucks.
doesn't?
Okay, so I
Oh
look
yeah,
at
you're right,
this
it
and
doesn't.
I'm like, this board. Okay, I can't beat this board head up. I'm like, there's no way I can beat that board head up.
Mm-hmm.
So then like I feel like this is where the thought process starts to change a little bit. I'm just happy to not lose this game. That's all I'm thinking. I feel like I just go into this game ever since the first augment. I was like, I just don't. This is stupid.
Yeah. This is
I immediately don't do this ever
little,
again.
This is cooking a little too hard, I would say. Like, yeah, I know you want to protect the work, but he's got Edge of Night. Like, he's gonna protect himself anyway. Like, he's never gonna get 100-0 with Edge of Night, and you lose out on all your scrap units on the front line. Like, yeah, that's not the positioning. Well, it's good to try it out and then realize that that we're not going to do that anymore. And then you hit the Victor. So man, you found 2. Oh, I mean, it's Victor's vision, right? So that makes sense. Yeah.
Bro, I get melted. Not to
Oh my
worry.
god.
Just for good closure. I was thinking she might save my life.
Yeah, I mean, you're 13 HP. It's a little scary to get
Now
there.
I'm thinking Warwick. I'm like
Sterex Warwick. Okay, we level here. Yeah, I mean, not that much to roll for at this point. So yeah, I still don't know why we're that excited about the Jinx. I mean, she's whatever. I mean, I like you're saying, you could definitely get out of at least a couple of these scrap units. I mean, Trundle's Bruiser, which is like kind of nice, but like you definitely find better stuff to put in on this
So like
board, just like 5 costs and stuff.
I just stun lock that person.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the Victor plus the Elise plus the anomaly
The
onto the
diving in.
Warwick. Yeah. Yeah, and then this Nocturne guy has no CC immunity either. All right. Well, I mean, top 3. Pretty decent. But yeah,
Don't know how.
I mean definitely not. I mean, it's the power of 6 scrap. It's the power of this quirky unit and this echo unit. They're just and hitting that early Warwick helped out a lot.
So it's like stun, it just stun. It
Mm-hmm.
just like I was like, okay, this could maybe do something.
Mm-hmm.
Good thing this was a clone, or I'd be dead right here.
This Warwick did so much. Warwick dealt most damage on the board. Like, oh, and then you find the Mel, yeah.
This guy's telling us to leave. Like he's a very cocky fella. What's
Uh-huh.
funny is my clone ends up beating him.
Oh my god.
And then I lose to him head up, so I don't understand what happened on that. I'm curious. So here I'm thinking maybe I can get second if I can get this Mel to like give me an extra
Mm-hmm.
life, and I get out of the scrap.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
then
I
see
definitely agree
if it
on
works.
getting out of super vertical scrap here. Yeah, you win this fight, which is nice. But those like 4 Melcasts, I think. So yeah, you're actually
Look, my clone beats this guy, and I'm like, I'm feeling good at this point. I'm like,
yeah.
how did my clone win? I have no idea what to take here, so I
Do
take the Hodge.
you
I
you
think
have a
Hodge is
Sunfire?
better
Yeah.
than the Sunfire.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, I was just looking at seeing if you have heal cut, but yeah, you have the Hodge onto the Warwick here, and so then you just move this stuff over. Yeah, I think this is solid. I mean, I still think this Hull Crusher is like awkward, but I mean, I mean, at this point, it's just a fact of life, I guess.
Dude,
Um,
his team is so much better than mine too. I'm just like, wow.
yeah, I wonder how
I'm
you're.
just amazed. I kill this Mordekaiser before it even gets a cast off. I was like, ooh,
Holy,
good
yeah,
job. I lose this fight though.
yeah. It's pretty close. It's really close, though.
Yeah, if that Rumble didn't delete the Corky, maybe. But I think him getting a victor is what
Oh
made the
yeah.
difference.
I feel like you're also so close to getting the Melproc there. I don't know how many casts that was. It looked like she got 4 or 5 casts off that fight. So you're actually almost at the Melproc as well. But yeah, I mean, like as we discussed during the game, yeah, a lot to clean up there. I mean, it was an interesting game. See, that's why I said, it's fun to watch the games that are kind of a mess, just because like just pointing out the different stuff is yeah, it's interesting.
I don't know how I salvaged that, to be quite frank. But
Yeah,
it was
no,
bad.
I'm definitely a bit surprised at that. I mean, I think that's just the power of Corki and Echo and Warwick together. Like, if you put those units on your board, it's kind of hard to bot for. Like, yeah, the comp is pretty good.
And then um I guess we can watch this one really,
Sure.
really, 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 really quick. But
Okay.
this is kind of just get lucky and win game.
Okay. That's never. I mean, look, TFT is about when you get gifted a first, you take the first. When it's a tough game to play and you have to like work for a top 4, then you get your top 4.
Still sure there's stuff I could have done better though. I'm looking at Academy. I want to
Mm-hmm.
see because I really want that Ionic Spark build. That's fun. I just want to troll on that.
Oh, what? Just like a bunch of Ionic Sparks. You get
Yeah.
whatchamacallit?
I want Academy item to be the Ionic Spark, and then I want the Augment to be the Ionic Spark, and then I want to stack 3 Ionic Sparks.
Oh, the dream also is
The
you get
Rune Ants.
no, you get the well, just like to go even further into the sparks idea, you take sponging, the one that like gives the sparks to like other
Ooh,
units, and so then you just get like, I don't know, like 7 ionic sparks or something like that.
yes, I want to do this.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I want to do. That's the dream. So I look every game.
Yeah, I mean,
Ooh, see, and I'm almost tempted if that would have been a hurricane. I look
yeah, yeah.
again. I'm like, ooh,
Oh no, if it
I
is a
mean,
hurricane, I think it's pretty good. I mean, though it's a little bit hard to, like, you don't have a lot of the academy units, but oh, Starry Night. Oh, you just take Starry Night and play into it. It's fine.
of
Yeah.
course. Yeah. I'm not thinking about it until I see Starry Night. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
now I gotta play something. I
Hmm.
still want to do scrap. You can see scraps in my planner.
Yeah. All right, I would definitely rather make Golden hold these Nocturnes. Like,
I don't know what I'm playing yet. I'm like, maybe I'm playing Nocturne Reroll.
yeah, I don't know. I had like a game last night where I like natural and maybe I'm over indexing because I got tilted after that game that I played on Nocturne Reroll. But like I naturaled Nocturne 2 like during stage 1, like from the minions, and then I had no scout, no pivot, Nocturne 2 to the start of the game, and it's still, I don't know. It's just like I feel like unless you get the I still feel like the range extenders are so important for Nocturne. So yeah, I don't
I
know,
feel
but
like it caps so hard. Like when I'm playing against that and I get a good scrap board, I'm like, yeah, you're gonna cap out, and I'm not, and I'm gonna beat you.
hmm
So that's the thing I don't like about it. It feels like you're just like. So then I get the Renata, and I'm like, okay, I know what
yep.
I'm playing now.
I don't know why I made the Ziggs too,
I don't know
because
why either. Because I sell them, and I'm like, so
yeah,
sick.
exactly. You can play Cinch Terror. Yep, nice. Okay, so yeah, this is the board for now, and then you just play Renata from here. Um, You could probably leave the Gargoyle and Leleona for now until you hit Singe 2, and then you can move it over. But okay, so yeah, I mean, great direction to play Renata. I definitely want tier off Carousel here. Not only because, it's a Shojin that we can make, but it's also like we need 2 tiers. Like I'm always, like if I'm in a spot where like in general, I'm trying to take tier off Carousel because you need, for Renata VAS, you need 2 tiers, and then you need like one of all the other components essentially. Like there's a Rod Renata here, I would definitely take tier over Rod Renata. Because like you need 2 tiers for you need Archangel and you need Shojin. And like you're not that likely to natural 2 tiers by the end of the game. And like yes, the rod is good, but you only really need 1 rod. You just need the rod for Archangel. And like you can use more rods and stuff, but I just want to, and it's also like in your spot you can make the Shojin immediately, whereas like rod doesn't let you make anything in the spot. But it's also like why we could have left the gargoyle on the Leona, because now we could just move it over to this Rel 2 that we have. But now like we don't have a remover anymore. We don't really want to sell Singed, so like you
Hell
just
no.
yeah. This guy's experiment. But yeah, I mean, still though, 4 Renatas at this point. It's funny, you got the Renata 2 without getting any from the Starry Night. Like you just naturaled like 3 Renatas, which is kind of hilarious because if you get 1 Renata 2 from Starry Night now, your spot's so good. Also, in this comp, I definitely want to push at least 5. I think you want to push 6 and roll on 6 when you have Starry Night in this comp, just because like the more you push levels, the higher odds you have of getting 2-starred units. And then you can just find your 1 costs. It's either 5 or 6. I think it's 6 in this comp.
I feel like I just completely slow roll the shit out of this game. Like I do not level at all. I'm just like I'll get
Yeah,
the
I mean,
1 cost.
I relate to.
I really wanted to get. I felt good about having the Renatas like I do
Mm-hmm.
now, and I scout a lot in this game, and I noticed no one else is playing Renata, so I feel very comfortable about getting the Renata 3, and I really wanted to get like the the Vex and the Morgana and the
Mm-hmm.
Singed and the Aurelia, so I was almost like playing it probably more like I should have played that family reroll.
All right, why do we skip Aurelia? That seems a little silly.
Did I? And it was
Yeah.
probably a mistake. I bet you I just messed up.
Yeah. There's
Yeah,
Aurelia too
definitely.
from Starry Night. We just don't buy it because you're like figuring out your items and stuff. But yeah, sad. No Aurelia too. But yeah, I mean, I like you're not rolling on 4 here, and I like that. Like I would prefer to just do most of my rolling. Oh, now you roll on 4. Well, like I would prefer to do most of my rolling on 5 in this comp. With like I think if you're not Starry Night, then you can roll a bit on 4 here. But with Starry Night, you can just like every level that you go up, you get better odds of getting 2 stars. So like the highest possible level that you can roll on is like ideal, just because that
I
allows you to.
saw sell something, sell something, sell something.
Yeah,
No.
it's tragic. I mean, it probably Vax there seems fine.
I even pointed it out. I was like 39.
I think big grab bag is fine here actually. Portable is like pretty good. Yeah, I like grab bag here. I like this because it
Because
gets
I
you. I think
needed.
yeah, you end up hitting the tier, which is great. Reforged sword definitely. Yep, do it. Oh, another tier. Another Shojin. Uh, I'd probably. I guess you can't make. Yeah, I mean another Shojin's fine, but it's like now we get a little bit punished for putting that random belt onto our Renata because now we have to like split the Shojins, which is weird. Like we should just have this belt not be on Renata and then just double Shojin Archangels for now, and then whenever we get to Nashers, we can just remove it.
Okay.
Yeah, just
So
always,
I liked having the 2 2s. I was like, man, those guys are pumping.
Yeah, but it's just like always, almost always, consolidating items will be better. Just because like this Renata that we have is benefiting from Archangels. She's benefiting from her first Shojin. Yeah, it's just like you always basically want to consolidate items when you have and especially now, like yeah, you can play like 4 Visionary on this board, whereas like if you're playing double Renata, you can't on 5.
I was
So
gonna say, I
yeah,
still hadn't turned off my planner yet. I was like, okay, we're not
yeah,
playing
yeah,
scrap. Let's go.
yeah. It was It was tilting me a little bit just watching you roll every round with the Scrap Units and Planner. I mean, we didn't skip. Well, we skipped the Irelia. It was the only thing that maybe having Irelian Planner would have made us not skip that. But
I mean,
yeah,
it was Starry Night and everything. I don't know how you missed that. That was just
yeah,
bad fun.
yeah, a
It
bit
was a
crazy.
mistake. Like I said, even the ones where you win, there's things you can do better.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, for sure.
So I get the,
Yeah, you take
I
bow
get
here
the,
for Nashers. I
because I'm
In your spot, I think I'd even like just skipping the bow for now. It's like Nasher Slam is so nice, but the problem is that like if we low roll on like tank items here, like it feels really, really, really bad. Like, you know, there's a world where we like also you don't really need to roll this deep, I would say 69 HP. Yeah, I wouldn't roll like this deep here. You can ditch an Irelia. I think that's fine. But yeah, like in general, like oftentimes when I'm in your spot, I will not take the bow on this carousel because we haven't seen a bow yet this game. Like it's quite likely that we're gonna natural a bow. And we're only like one tank item made at this point. Like we really need more tank items, especially in this comp where like tank items are quite important. I also would have held that one random Singed over the one random Irelia in the one shop. I mean, it's a small thing, but like, yeah, I like Singed 3 a lot more than Irelia 3 in this comp, and we already have that would be like our fourth Singed, and it's only our second Irelia, really. So
I feel like there was a little bit of panic too because I just needed bench space. I was like, I have
yeah,
to hit something.
yeah, that's fair. I mean, yeah, feeling whenever you're like kind of bench locked like this, it's kind of tilting, but all good. I mean, we got to most of our stuff here. We found yeah, I mean, we've almost hit everything. I mean, getting stuck on Singe this long, like we're probably not gonna be able to get Singe 3. I mean, in your spot, honestly, you should probably just push 6 and then roll for Rel 3 and Renata 3, and then just play around those guys. Like it feels so tough to hit Singe 3 in this spot, I feel like. Just because like I mean you have to roll in hitting a Starry Night. But yeah, like you have Rel 3 here. Like we can just itemize roll over Singed. And like if you're pushing 6, then your odds of hitting Renata are, you know, obviously a bit better. Yeah, we hit a lot of these guys. But yeah, like here, like this is what like this is exactly kind of the spot I'm talking about where like you get more damage items here and you get drop the bow. Like you're very likely, since you haven't seen a bow this entire game, like you're very likely to see a bow here. But you still now don't have any tank items. So like had we taken like Chain off last carousel, then we could have made like Steadfast Heart. We'd still have this bow here for the Nashers. And then, you know, we'd have a tank item made for our board, which would be really nice.
So I'm
Um
curious what you would do here because, like, oh,
oh, Edge, the Slim Jim simulator. If you okay, we got there. Change of Fate is funny. I mean, I think Coordination is just a quite good augment, and like sometimes you're stuck not being able to play enough stuff on this board. Like Final Polish is like okay, it could get you the tank item, but I mean, I just think basically this Coordination augment is just feels too broken to pass up almost ever. Like it's just so good. So yeah, I agree with your take here. And then you hit Morg 3, which is nice. I mean, the other nice thing
I'm
about
feeling
pushing,
great.
yeah, no, I mean you hit basically the entire board. Still no Singe 3 yet, but I mean since we stayed at level 5 for so long, we actually do have the opportunity to hit Singe 3 and just have everything here, which is nice. So
And I feel like I stayed at 5 for so long because I just felt so strong. Like I just feel like
yeah,
my board is like incredibly strong right now, especially with the extra guy from the Coordination. I got 4 Visionary. Like I'd like to get 4 Sentinel, but there's the Aurelia. There's
and
the
then we hit the
Singe.
Singe. Okay,
So now I'm like, okay, now I can chill. I
yep,
got everything.
yeah, your entire board is golden. So yeah, I mean yeah, had we. I think we could have still hit some of this stuff on 6 and then also just had the ability to push more levels, get 4 Sentinel in. But I mean, you're still winning fights, so not the end of the world, I guess. But yeah, like it's just like the other thing is like how much does actually hitting Morgana 3 matter that much? You know, it's a 0 out of Morgana 3. How much does hitting the Irelia 3 matter? I don't know. Like not that much. So like I think your game could actually be like largely the same here, except we could have more gold and be like pushing levels and then be excited about, you know, like getting in more stuff.
Just
Like
we wanted to stay at 69 health for as long as possible.
that's true. That's fair. You take belt here, right? I think we definitely should have taken chain. It's one was chain on a Mordekaiser, so it's like one is just gold, and then 2 is just like we do not need a 6th damage item here. We need a 2nd tank item. Like,
Do you realize why I sucked at Sorcerer?
yeah,
Are you getting the theme?
yeah.
That's exactly what would happen. I'd be like, man, look how good these items are for my backline.
I mean, yeah, Nash's is great. It's a great item, but like,
But my front line's gone.
but yeah, like you're not Nash's is not going to matter if your front line gets blown up by somebody who does damage. Luckily, we're fighting a lot of like low damage boards, and like the lobby's relatively weak. But like, yeah, I would definitely prefer
I have no idea what to take in this situation. I want to
I
take something for Singe.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think about this, but then I see this, and I'm like, this scales with Archangels, and I
This
don't want to roll very much, so I just picked this.
this one's okay. I think in your spot, yeah, like your spot's good enough that you could probably take it. I don't like love it just because it's like yeah, it's you're getting AP from Archangel Shojin and Nash's and like that's it. Like it's not really that much. Oh, you get Leona
I
Hint.
can
Good.
I can tell you after I looked at how much AP went up, I was very disappointed.
Yeah, it's really not that much.
But then I look at the scaling, and I'm like, okay, it did scale at least.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely works with Archangels. And it's like okay if you want to take something in a pinch and just get one like quick and push levels, which I think is fine. Like in general, I think that should be the approach to anomalies. Oh, and we're like basically at time, so I guess I don't know. We can speed through the rest of the game, see how it ends. But I think you sounds like you're really strong for the rest of the game, and then you push levels. You get 6 Visionary in, which is so broken now. You still, it is the end of stage 5, and our final Singe tank item was a Quicksilver. Yeah, I mean, that is the most egregious thing this game is just prioritizing so many damage items over. Just like, your first priority is get to 3 Renata items. Your second priority should be getting to 3 Singed items, and I feel like that was like our 5th priority or something, you know? Like, we got to 3 Renata items, then 3 Vex items, then, 2 Morgana items, and now we finally got to 3 Singed items, but Quicksilver is not even a tank item, like... So yeah,
I'm like, he could do the steroid now uninterrupted.
yeah. I mean, it's better
It's
than nothing.
terrible.
I mean, I like that. I like that it's I would prefer that than you just had the cloak sitting on him. It is better than nothing, but it is much worse than any tank item. Um,
Mm,
in
really.
the old days, how long you been playing TFT? Did you play TFT when Quicksilver gave dodge chance?
I played like set one. I know
Okay,
that.
yeah. Like
I
there was
remember
a
when the Renekton comp. Do you remember that when you could get like a
no.
Renekton, like buff him up, and he would pretty much just kill an entire
Oh, I
board?
know I've heard people talk about that. Yeah. I played some of set 1 and like I skipped a bunch of sets after that. But like for a while Quicksilver is actually a pretty good tank item because it gave dodge chance. You would put it on your tank and then like they're uninterrupted and it like gives them a chance of dodge and then they were like, "You know what? Dodging is like really an annoying stat to have in TFT because like who wants their spells their ability their attacks to get dodged?" And so they're like, "Let's get
I
rid of
think
that."
there were characters who like played into dodge
Oh
too,
yeah,
if
yeah. There
I'm not
was like
mistaken. Yeah.
Yordles once was like a dodge trait where they gave like 20% dodge chance or something.
Do you remember
Which
the Hellions? That was
oh yeah,
fun.
yeah, yeah. Hellions is great. I like that version a lot. Warmogs, please,
I
please, please. Just take it.
yeah,
Yes. No, but
I lo-
move the Quicksilver
hold on.
and then just
I do re-item it, but I lost
okay.
to this guy last fight, I
Yeah.
think. So I think that was the difference. The Warmog on Alawi gave me enough
Just having
time.
some more, yeah, frontline.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
And
mean, you
then I
can see,
win.
yeah. Oh yeah, and you don't even end up with the Warmogs, but at least you tried to get it over there. Okay. Well, yeah, these are some good games to go over. Definitely some fun ones and some interesting ones. Yeah, I mean, definitely a lot still to fix in these games, like we talked about. But definitely some. I mean, this game was just like a good augment selection, good identifying the line, and then playing into it. And I mean, you got there. So yeah.
Cool. Well, yeah, like definitely think there's stuff to improve for sure.
Hmm.
So, alrighty. And then I know what's the next one? The next one, I don't know. We have a session coming up, I think.
Yeah, we have another one
Friday.
Friday. Yeah, next week.
Cool. And
And
then the one after that is not existent,
yeah,
right?
yeah, that's a yes,
Cool.
exactly.
All right.
All right,
Perfect. I
sounds
look
good.
forward to it. You have a good rest of your weekend, man.
You too. All right, see
All
you
right.
later.
Bye bye.